Once upon a time, in a land not too different from our own, there were some important lessons to be learned about managing resources. Imagine a world where everything is made up of shiny, colorful rings. These rings represent the resources that we use to build, grow, and sustain our lives. In this lively town, people work hard to earn these precious rings. Some people run businesses, creating goods and providing services, while others work for these businesses or the government. These rings are like puzzle pieces that fit together to form the economy. But what happens when we don't manage these rings wisely? Let's meet Tails, a curious fox who wants to understand why resource management is so important.
Hey, why is it such a big deal to manage resources properly?
Great question, Tails. You see, when resources are poorly managed, bad things can happen. Let's imagine that all the rings in this town suddenly disappear. Without enough rings to go around, people can't buy the things they need. Imagine going to your favorite candy store, but they're all out of candy. How disappointing would that be?
Oh no, I love candy.
That's right, Tails. And it's not just about candy. When resources are scarce, people might not have enough food to eat or access to proper health care. It can make life really tough for everyone.
But why does that happen?
Well, Tails, one reason is that when the government spends too much money and takes too many rings away from people, there isn't enough left for individuals to make their own choices. It's like having a bossy friend who takes all the decisions for you, even though they don't know your preferences.
That doesn't sound fair, Sonic. That sounds like something Eggman would do when he decides to trap animals in his badniks. Self-ownership and individual rights and freedom of choice are important.
You're absolutely right, Tails. That's why it's important to let people keep more of their own rings. When people have the freedom to spend their own money, they can make choices that suit their needs and desires. Just like you know best what candies you like, millions of free people know how to spend their own money better than the government does.
Oh, I get it. So, by keeping more money in people's pockets, we can make it easier to create more jobs and opportunities, and maybe people could work less to earn the same amount without having the government take it.
Exactly! When people have more rings to spend, they can support local businesses, which creates more jobs and economic growth. It's like a chain reaction, Tails. If the people have more money to spend on what they want, that means those businesses and individuals get more money to employ people, to grow and provide an even better service, a growth cycle which pushes up wages and prosperity and quality.
Wow, that's cool. Capitalism and freedom sound amazing, Sonic.
Absolutely, Tails. Now let's talk about the countries we live in. Western nations like America and the UK may not be as capitalist or economically free as you might think. In fact, they have quite a bit of debt, and the government spends a significant portion of the money earned in these countries.
But why is that bad?
When the government spends a lot and has a lot of debt, it means they have to take even more rings away from the people. It's like a never-ending cycle of taking and spending, and it can lead to problems. Governments also reduce the value of rings, effectively meaning each ring is worth less. This shrinks the government debts, but also means you need many, many more rings to buy a house or a chili dog. This is called inflation, and it makes people's wages worth less and reduces how much people can buy with their saved rings too. Many young people now can't even afford a home when previous generations could. This is because inflation has been higher than wages, and the population has grown faster than house building, creating scarcity and more homeless people, or people living with their parents.
So, if these countries have massive government spending and debts, these countries don't seem very capitalist or economically free. Why should workers pay off these massive debts? That doesn't sound very fair, Sonic. Big government sounds bad to me. I can't believe any person would be a socialist and support taking even more rings from hard-working people just to grow the government and its massive irresponsible spending even more.
That's right, Tails. While these countries may have elements of capitalism, their high levels of debt and government spending make them less economically free. Pure capitalism is like a playground where everyone has the freedom to play by their own rules. But when the government takes too much control, it's like having someone always telling you what games to play and how to play them.
That doesn't sound very fun, Sonic. I don't want someone telling me what to do. I want to be free, to have the right to buy and sell freely, to have my home and rights protected, and to own myself instead of having the government stealing my labor to pay for stuff I may not agree with.
You are right. It's not fair to have your rings taken by force, Tails. That's why many believe that decentralizing power, keeping more rings in people's pockets, and allowing individuals to make their own choices is the best path. It's about giving people the freedom to pursue their dreams and make their own decisions.
I kinda get it, but why is freedom and capitalism so important?
Freedom and capitalism may not sound cool, but they are radical ideas, empowering individuals to create, innovate, and build better lives for themselves and others. It's like having your own magical garden where you can plant any seeds you like and watch them grow into beautiful flowers. Capitalism just means letting people choose what to buy and sell and keep what they gain. It's about being the master of your own destiny, owning your labor, instead of being a pawn of the elite, like the government, who destroy the value of labor through inflation and money printing and take much of whatever value is left through forced taxation.
That sounds amazing!
It truly is, Tails. By embracing freedom and capitalism, we can unleash the creative potential of millions of people. They will have the freedom to start their own businesses, create jobs, and contribute to a thriving economy. It's like having a big potluck party where everyone brings their favorite dishes to share. The variety and abundance are incredible.
I want to be a part of that. Capitalism and freedom sound amazing. Why do we cling to outdated ideas that some guy in the government knows what I want better than I do?
By understanding the importance of managing resources wisely, supporting lower taxes, and embracing the power of individual choice, you can be a champion for a better future, my wise, foxy friend. Democracy isn't just about voting. It's about voting with your rings, supporting businesses and individuals you agree with, rewarding good behavior and ethics. History has shown time and time again that governments spend money less effectively and less ethically than millions of free people. What free person would choose to fund a war or other bad outcomes if they truly had control over their own money?
It sounds like bloated governments aren't just a problem for our wallets, but also for the peace and prosperity of the planet. I'm going to learn more about economics and make a difference.
That's the spirit, Tails. Remember, the world is full of possibilities, and when we make wise choices with our resources, we can create a brighter future for everyone. Let's not assume we live under capitalism. Quite the reverse. Let's take back our economic power, use our rings to support people and companies that are ethical, and fight against the destruction of the incomes of the working and middle class. Maybe invest in your local community, start your own currency or buy digital currencies, or invest in assets instead of keeping rings in the vault as their value is destroyed to pay for the previous generation's wars and government debts. Power to the people, Tails. Wow. I found a note on the floor. It says, "Please note, this video is intended as entertainment and should not be considered financial advice. To learn more about economics, please read books by great authors like Thomas Sowell, such as Basic Economics, A Common Sense Guide to the Economy." This video is not sponsored and is intended to be an absurdist parody. Ha words.